Hey, Mariners, this is an important one. So, along the lines of this class, you're going to work on a project portfolio, which is just a collection of everything we've done. And you can see I've got an example here with a lot of good info for you to use. And this is actually going to be given to you just like this as a copy from the classroom. So you can right click or you can really just open this up. And you're going to have to go to File and make a copy of the entire presentation. You're going to call this your first, last, then period, which would be whatever period you're in, to title this and make it a version of your own. So this will say your first and last name, and then the other thing you want to do is make sure that you put in your first and last name here as soon as you open this up. So this, for me, would look like that, and you can adjust locations if it's not aligning. Some basic stuff, and then you can mess around with any coloring or modifications on this that you'd like. If you want to custom control this and make it your own, by all means. One thing I will always say right out of the gate is, as much as a lot of people like to have fancier, different colored backgrounds than white, taking and putting pictures in and having, in some cases, like white bordering that you're trying to conceal, it's actually much easier if you leave the background white, because then it'll match the background of whatever you're capturing images of. So that's some of the just beginning factors in this. So you'll have your own copy. I'm going to work with this one because this is the one that I renamed. And then the next thing you're going to know about working with these slides is that you should use this as a template in its entirety. So you can right click on these slides and duplicate them, and then just wipe out the contents, and you can add photos and add what it says and retitle things, but you shouldn't be building these from scratch slides. You should just take and make copies of these and then use your own Onshape work to add to these slides. So there's a couple of different ways to grab photos off of a computer, but number one, before you start taking any pictures, if you have any controls, even this little origin dot or work planes or sketches or anything that interfere with the way the quality of this looks, you want to make sure that you go through and hide anything that you don't need to see, like even that little origin dot and any sketches that might be turned on. And you'll see they're on by way of, it goes bold and it shows that that's going on. Then you can zoom and pan and move your stuff around until you can capture some different images, views that you like. For students, it's the easiest thing. On the top right corner of the keyboard, there's a cluster of 3 keys. One of them is print screen. It says PRTSC. What you do is you strike that key and it'll take a photo of whatever it sees on the screen, and it's going to copy it to the computer's clipboard. Then you can go over to Onshape, hit Control V, or right click and paste, and you can drop the entirety of this in. Then by double clicking it, you're going to get black anchor points that you can use to crop and trim away whatever it is that you don't want as part of the photo. And this is the easiest way of getting photographs or images into your program. And then what happens is it's still going to leave the contents of that picture there, but it's just going to cut away, like you see here, what you don't need. As soon as you're done with that movement, you click outside the picture area, and there you go. And as you practice with this, you can just take different kinds of visibility shots, meaning I can maybe zoom into a section of windows. If you wanted to even like click on the windows and like show off the tool that was used, you can do something like that. But the whole bottom line is whatever you see is whatever you're going to get. As far as a screen capture, you hit the print screen button on the keyboard, and then you go over to your slides, paste and edit. Right click, paste. You can see it's just taking a picture of everything on that screen, and I can double click it fast enough to grab these anchor points. And then you got to click away from the picture. But however you'd want to go through and show off the parts of the process. And then here, I mean, this is going to take you a little bit more thought. I'm going to continue to post information about what tools you're using when you're drawing, but this is neat to include saying, all right, you worked on mouse and view controls with this project, hiding and showing planes, using center point rectangles to build. You went through sketching and extruding basics. You went through sketch patterns, how we made the windows, extrude and drafting the extruding to make the antenna, and then working with the origin point at the inside bottom of this tower to center everything up. Were all just different things that you learned by way of toying around with this project, or at least saw. You may not learn it all just yet, but it's a great way to share information. So you can just wipe out the slides that I've given you and put your images in to start. This was basically just me repeating that process. You can click on slides here and right click and delete them, or duplicate them, or whatever you need to do. You could also rearrange the order by just dragging these things around. And you can see I've done the same thing with these. I just went into the program window, took a picture of the entire screen, and pasted those photos in. So other things about this slideshow is any additional content, support content. We did this TikTok logo thing. I put a picture of the TikTok color palette that I got from the internet in here just to, again, reinforce what you've gone through, using hex and RGB coloring to get exact color matches for corporate company type work. I left some of these here so you can see other things that can be done with image tracing when you're getting a little bit better at controlling all of the 3D extrudes. And then down here at the end is something I want to point out. A table of contents is neat in a program like this. You can set these links up to jump to pages in your slideshow. So we can make this click here and it's going to jump to that project, advance forward and backward controls and things like that. But this says up here, example and complete last. When you're done with a portfolio is when you'd go in and build a table of contents and then move it up to like the top of the slide, or make it your second slide, so you can go in there and you can actually make it an interactive presentation, which I'll show you guys later on in the course. But this is a phenomenal skill set to have, to be able to understand how to build this, the fact that you're going to be able to take it and hit share and you can publish this thing, meaning you can turn this into an internet site in just a couple of clicks, and it'll advance with some basic controls that you can turn it on to advance every so many seconds, or you can click with the mouse and advance and play this thing. But it'll look like a full functioning presentation online. Go back to the beginning of this. So this will be what your presentation looks like as it gets published, and then it can be shared through Google accounts, and you'll be able to use this for applications, job, college, different scholarship type activities, different competitive events require portfolios, and you want to build yourself. You can see it in here. I turned the loft tool on to show off what goes on inside when I was doing this process. Same thing here. And I had gone through and just make duplicates of all these pages, wiped out the pictures and edited what it says and retitle and add photos, and relatively simple once you get the swing of it down. So let me know if you guys need any help. Send me an email, ask me questions in class. I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks.